for a big year. He's number 15 on my list and the first in my fourth tier. Number 16. And this is where it gets a little tricky. I like to go out on a limb with these guys, right? Danny Santana, Texas Rangers, who plays every position. He came out of nowhere last year to hit 28 homers. Yeah. 81 RBIs. Yeah. 21 stolen bases. That's right. A 283 average and a 367 OBA gives you numbers in all the categories. And he's playing for the Rangers. Now, I know he had not done anything like that before last year. He'll be 29. He's feast or famine, right? He's either going to be playing every day and hot, or he's going to be benched by the middle of May. But if you're drafting late, why not take a flyer on Danny Santana? Next on my list, number 17, Ahmad Rosario. And Lenny mentioned this morning, how Ahmad Rosario wears down. No doubt about it. But he's got tremendous upside. He hit 287 last year. 75 runs scored, 19 stolen bases, 15 homers, 72 RBIs. 311 hitter against lefties. And away from New York, away from Flushing, he hit 323 last year. He's 24 years old. He should be getting better. Next on my list, how about Texas Ranger Elvis Andrus? I know he's 31, but Andrus just continues to put up the numbers and steals the bases. He had a 275 average, 81 runs scored, only 12 homers, and that's why he's down on my list, but 31 stolen bases. And if you're going late in drafts, it's always a big plus, I think, late in drafts, to grab that shortstop or middle infielder who can give you those stolen bases, and Andrus is going to do that. He's ranked number 18 on my list. Number 19, rather. Rosario was 18. So who comes in next? We've talked about Anderson. We've talked about Santana. We've talked about Andrus. We've talked about Rosario. Next on my list, I'm going out on a limb, and I'm going to take Corey Seager of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, Seager, I know, is oft injured, and that's why he's so low on the list. But even in an oft injured year, he hit 272, scored 82 runs, had 19 home runs, 87 RBIs, and a 351 on-base average. He gives you numbers across the board. Does not steal bases, which is why he's down on my list. That and because he stays injured. But look what he did against he's a left-handed bat. Against left-handed pitching last year, 240 average. He's got to get better against lefties. He had a 289 clip against right-handers. And that's why he falls down in my positioning. Not good against same-side pitching. Next on my list, again in the same tier, tier 4, Jorge Polanco of the Minnesota Twins. He hit 295 last year. He scored 107 runs. He hit 22 home runs, 79 RBIs, only 4 stolen bases. And now you see why some of these players are falling into this last tier, because of the fact you don't get across-the-board numbers. And you're right, Phil Chaplin. Shortstop is a deep position. I told you yesterday, third base is a deep position. The lesson to be learned here is you don't have to draft a shortstop early. Now, I know there's a difference between Frankie Lindor and Jorge Polanco. I know that. But it's not in a different stratosphere kind of difference. I mean, with Polanco, who now is number 20, 295 average, 22 homers, 107 runs, you're not tanking it. Now, I didn't mention Gavin Lux of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I didn't mention Lux for a reason. There's just not much of a sample size. Could he be in the top 20? Sure. Definitely. But we just haven't seen enough of Gavin Lux yet. Other possibilities as I go down the list, way down the list, Adrelton Simmons in my 5th tier. Didi Gregorius in my 5th tier. Paul DeJong in my 5th tier. Shortstop, really deep. When I'm drafting this year, here's how I'm looking at it. I'm waiting on third base. I'm waiting on shortstop. I'm probably going to get a good, solid second baseman early. I'm going to get my outfielders early. A player I really like as we conclude our hitters today, because we're going to talk pitching on Thursday. At first base, I love what they have out in Oakland. Matt Olson, I think, could be American League MVP this year. You want some stretches? I'm going to give them to you. I think Matt Olson, here's another tidbit. As I'm drafting around the infield, a lot of people are going to pick Freddie Freeman as their first baseman. I think Olson could be a better choice, a better value. Get your outfielders. Get that really good second baseman. Get Matt Olson after Freddie Freeman. Build your team that way. Chappie's doing outfield tonight. Great. I did my outfielders, I think, some time ago, and things have changed. You know, that's the thing about fantasy. It's fluid. I can't wait to hear what Chappie has on outfield tonight. I'm going to do starting pitchers, and relievers on Thursday. Thursday's show may be a little longer because I'm not only going to do starters, I'm going to do relievers. Chappie agrees with me on Olson. I like Olson better than Freddie Freeman in 2020. And I know I'm drifting away from my shortstops, but I like Olson better than Freddie Freeman in 2020. And if Freddie Freeman's going in the first or second round and Olson's going in the third or fourth, give me Olson. Give me the Bichettes. Give me these younger players that you can draft later. Go ahead and get that ace pitcher. So here's a question. We'll talk about sort of the lead-in to Thursday's show. This could be the year that ace pitchers are drafted in the first round, high in drafts, because positions are much deeper. Where does Garrett Cole go in your draft this year? We're going to talk about that Thursday on Arnie's Fantasy World of Sports. Thank you for being with me, everybody. Have a great day. Chappie tonight at 7. I'll see you Thursday morning. Have a great day.